Hey everyone, welcome to the Everyday Human Podcast. My name is Easton Taverna. Each day I'll share a reflection written by me and inspired by literature, poetry, music, movies, video games, and more. And after that, I'll share a prompt for you to write your own reflection. Together, we'll explore what it means to be human. Every month, we'll walk a new path, taking a look at life, death, the universe, and everything in between. Thanks for coming along. I'm glad you're here. For more, visit eastontaverna.com or join me on Instagram at _everydayhuman. It is May 14th, and today's reflection is titled, It Will Be So. This one was inspired by the poem A Dandelion for My Mother by Jean Nordhaus. So I just wrote this one yesterday. That's right, it's brand new. I didn't write this particular reflection last year, like I have for all of the other ones so far and the ones that come after this. It's a replacement reflection. A few days ago, as I was preparing my intro for what I think was originally May 10th or 9th, I don't remember, I began looking more into some information to share about Rudyard Kipling. The reflection for that day was inspired by his poem, Mother, O Mine, which is a nice little poem. But I began reading a bit more about him, and this was the writer of The Jungle Book, in case you weren't familiar with the name. I began learning a bit more about his life, and some stuff that just wasn't okay with me, which I didn't know when I originally wrote the reflection. Namely, racist depictions of pretty much anyone who wasn't white, glorifying of imperialism and war, and sure, was he a product of his time? Some might say so, but I don't really like that excuse because not everyone living in that time behaved in such a way and believed such things. And for the purposes of this book and podcast, I just didn't want to include his work. Now, does this mean everyone I've quoted was a perfect saint? No, nobody is perfect. And we are all influenced by the world around us. But we also have agency and choice and the ability to learn and grow and change. And I know there's a lot of nuance to be considered. And I do try to vet my sources of these quotes as best as I can. But here I just wasn't comfortable with it. I might keep the reflection in the back of the book when it's finally ready for print without the poem. Or just cut it entirely. I'm not sure yet, but so it goes. So instead of using that poem by Kipling, I found a lovely poem by Jean Nordhaus. I'm not too familiar with her work, but this is a wonderful poem. She has published 6 books of poetry, as far as I have learned, and has been published in American Poetry Review, The New Republic, and many other places. She lives in Washington, D.C., and is 86 currently. If the info I'm getting this from is incorrect or outdated, forgive me. There was not a lot of information on her online that I could find. But this morning I did read a few poems by her, and I found them to be really good and thought-provoking, and I think I might have to check out one of her books now. Another one besides the one that inspired today's reflection, A Dandelion for My Mother, that I really enjoyed was called Posthumous. So give that one a read when you get the chance. Just Google Posthumous with the name Jean Nordhaus. Okay, so here is the poem A Dandelion for My Mother, which inspired me to write a sort of prosaic poem of my own for today's reflection. I love dandelions, in case you didn't know. By now, when I was a kid, I would make salads out of them. Now I will include them in salads or use their leaves and flowers for tea, and I just love looking at them. And they're amazing for the pollinators, too. Now, the poem that inspired today's reflection goes like this. How I loved those spiky suns, rooted stubborn as childhood in the grass, tough as the farmer's big-headed children, the mats of yellow hair, the bowl-cut fringe. How sturdy they were, and how slowly they turned themselves into galaxies, domes of ghost stars, barely visible by day, pale cerebrums clinging to life on tough green stems, like you in the end. If you were here, I'd pluck this trembling globe to show how beautiful a thing can be, a breath will tear away. All right, and here is my reflection. They come to the door, telling your human to give them money for death, so they can rain down poison from a tank on their back, and take you away from the bumblebee and the hoverfly, and the rabbits and deer and goldfinches, and any other animal who knows you as necessary and good. They would take you from the hand of a child who emerges from her cave and the pale light of winter into the sun with wide eyes, to pluck you as a gift, as a symbol of love for her mother. There is more love in you than the diamonds mined from the bowels of the earth by exploited hands. There is more love in your seasons of bright yellow and shriveled green and starburst gray than a subscription to overpriced makeup from the shopping channel. Your last act in life is to grant the child a wish, and so she purses her lips and blows, wishing for the love beneath the sun on the wind and in the drops of rain to continue. And as you float off, you tell her not to worry, for it will be so. That despite the poison and heartache and death, life and love will take root, stubborn and proud, and it will be so. There ends today's reflection. So I had a bit of fun writing that one, and I'm glad I stumbled upon Jean Nordhaus. I think in some of my past reflections I actually recommend just picking up a book of poetry from a poet you've never heard of, so I think I'll take my own advice here. So now, ask yourself the following reflection question. What can I learn of love and life from the stubborn resilience and beauty of the dandelion? What event in my life needs resilience and love to endure and overcome? That's it for today, May 14th. I'll be back tomorrow, May 15th, with another reflection. Have a good one and take care.